Hello. Um, I hope you're well. Um, Here to give you a little rundown on what I see in the chart of the sky at the present moment. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about what's going to happen in the next little while as well. So I'm just going to dive right into it. We have the sun at 8 degrees of Capricorn, being followed closely behind by Venus. And it's just so interesting how the sky writes this poetry, really, for us, with Venus approaching a conjunction with the sun right now. This is a really pivotal time for us in terms of our relationships with ourselves, our relationships with the world at large. And it's also a very it's that feeling of sort of being hounded by enjoyment, or turning around and noticing that it's right there behind you. Like if your personal ego self is the sun and Venus is our collective relational ability to appreciate one another on a personal level, to appreciate the value in the things around us. We have Venus sort of about to come closer to the sun, and it's within 2 degrees right now. So Venus is at 6 degrees of Capricorn. A veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of a god. See, so this too is the Sabian symbol, of course, is speaking to how this intuitive feeling I'm getting of Venus following the sun, but sort of being shrouded, sort of being veiled. A veiled prophet speaks, seized by the power of a god. And so that's Venus there. I'm kind of thinking of too, like if you received gifts around this holiday season, like Venus being like our material possessions and stuff like that. And then I don't know, it's like, have you had a chance to play with your toys yet, or are they just sort of like beckoning you from the corner? And then this 8th degree, or in Sabian symbol language, it's the 9th degree of Capricorn of the sun, is an angel comes carrying a harp. So today and yesterday I felt a respite in the energies. We also have a beautiful sun-moon trine in the sky, or that was yesterday, and that felt really good. I don't know if you felt it yesterday morning, but after that Aries lunar period over Christmas, when things just, towards the end of Christmas Day and the next day, things got a little intense for me. The moon in Aries is a burning up energy. It's also really beautiful. I just had a really dear friend of mine who has the moon in Aries over, and I really have a great deal of love for every placement. I have a lot of love for that person. Anyway, not to poo-poo on moon in Aries, but when the moon came into Taurus, there is indeed that exalted Taurus energy, and especially when it was in trine to the sun, there was just this feeling of, the basic well-being that comes through an awareness that we are grounded in the physical reality around us, that it's just what it is, and this is what we have to work with. And I woke up because I had an earache, and I woke up and I just felt at peace and so grateful for things as they are. And this is a concept I was working with today with all these Capricorn planets. It makes a lot of sense. And just to say, like, before I say it, like, I'm not saying anything is an absolute truth or an unchanging thing, but the thing I was thinking of was, like, this is as it seems. Something to work with, sort of a mantra or meditation, or just something to think over in your mind. Just look at things and say, this is as it seems. This is what it looks like it is. Because with that affirmation, you sort of get rid right away of any, and even when you're applying a concept to things, that is as it is, right? It's still just as it is. If your thoughts are permeating that thing and changing its quality, that is as it is. So as you look through everything and you see that we're interpenetrating the material reality we live in with our consciousness, this is as it seems. Not only as it is, but as it seems. Obviously, this can't be taken to the extreme in all cases, and nothing can, because some things aren't as they seem, and they make themselves seem, but they are as they seem to us in that moment of experiential reality, right? Some ways. I have Nick Cave in the background here. God is in the house, baby. And it's just perfect for what I'm saying right now, because God is in the house. And I woke up and I opened my eyes and I sort of cast my awareness through the house and through the objects in the house and through the things that were going on, and everything has spirit, you know, everything is imbibed with our spirit when we touch it with our minds. Okay, so back to this chart here. What do we have? We have the North Node at 17 degrees Leo, right on 17. It's about to dip down into 16. So let's see, what's that Sabian symbol? A chemist conducts an experiment for their students. Okay, so we've just had this going on in the last 3 or 4 days, perhaps 5. Little explosions, things are being demonstrated for us in real time right now. Mercury is direct. Things are in Capricorn. You can see it playing out right before your eyes. This chemist, this cosmic chemist, this North Node, this dragon's head, showing us all together now. We're going to see how is this experiment coming to pass. It's beautiful. Right now the nodes are approaching a square with Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio. Jupiter and Mars in Scorpio are getting ready for their grand frickin' show, which is going to, they're stewing. Mars is just passionately stewing away, getting ready for its thing that it's going to do with Jupiter when it comes up to Jupiter and sextiles the Sun, Venus, and Pluto in Capricorn around January 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. This sort of configuration is going to be active. And at that time also the moon in Libra will wind up squaring that Capricorn stellium. We are going to see some action, folks. This is going to be an action-packed adventure early January, as some of the wonderful astrologers on here have said that I've seen. We're going into 2018 with a bang. Maybe a whimper and a bang, I don't know, because we're going to have that full moon in Cancer on January 1st. And I don't know, 2018 is just coming in shining, just coming in. This Capricorn energy is just rooting us, grounding us, making sure this is real, this is serious, this is what you see is what you get. And what you feel is important. What you are, what you see in the outer world is always fueled by what has happened in the inner. This is the Cancer Capricorn polarity. So, with the moon at home in Cancer like that, and Saturn at home in Capricorn like that, in this opposition from 11 degrees of Cancer and Capricorn, with support from Mars in Scorpio, this beautiful grand water trine, with Neptune participating with the moon and Mars, and we're living in a beautiful, special time. And I mean, this is always the case, but right now I really hope everyone can take the time to enjoy the beautiful sort of, I want to say the majesty, I guess the North Node's in Leo, the majesty of our emotional experience. The quintessence of our experience on Earth is really being given form, given space, given a platform for expression. Capricorn, corresponds to the 10th house. This is where we shine. Capricorn, and Capricorn shines because it's respectable, it's respectful, and that doesn't necessarily mean it has to fit with old tradition and old fuddy-duddy stuff. Capricorn is so respectable, it can build a new tradition. That's what we can do right now. We can say, hey, how about we start doing this? And now this is our tradition, That's beautiful. This is creative energy that honors our individuality. And, oh, my babe. I'm going to pause it. I have a sleeping baby, and she's got a cough. She's just in my lap. New tradition, astrology with babies on your lap. I mean, 6-year-old babies. But, yeah. So, okay. Something else I've noticed. Poor sweetheart. She's gonna be okay. Something else I've noticed is it's amazing, actually. Here, let me pull that up. I'm just gonna pull up some asteroids here. I know you can't see the chart, and I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to figure out how to get that up, but if I can't, you can look at your charts too. Hi, I had to pause it for a minute. Oops, some music. I'm gonna turn it down. Hope you can hear me. I think the music's nice. I like listening to it. It's inspiring. I hope you can hear me. I will speak up so that you can. As much as possible. And I believe I was about to talk about something that was exciting, and it's actually good that I'm talking about it right now because it's about to be exact. When we speak about like applying and separating aspects, like I was talking about with the Venus is applying to the Sun right now, and coming to her, connection with that element of our perspective on the solar system. She's gonna and then what we have happening is, okay, I'm rambling. Okay, so it's something kind of cool and something that some of you will be familiar with, and it is that we have Venus approaching before the conjunction with the Sun. She will be conjunct the asteroid Eros, 433, I believe. Eros. A little symbol of a heart with a little cupid, a bow, like an arrow through Eros, Eros. We talk about Eros, a lot of us, that it's divine passion, divine embodied lust, love, attraction, the force that fuels like the universe for some people, the lovers sort of curse and blessing and angel all in one, who fuels Psyche's journey to reunite with him. These are quintessential lovers mythologically, and what we also have is the planet Mars in Scorpio about to conjunct asteroid 16 Psyche at 13 degrees of Scorpio. So we have Mars conjunct Psyche and Venus conjunct Eros. Now for you twin flames, for you lovers of any kind, in separation or together, or truly no lovers are ever in separation, so maybe we can stop using that term. Yeah, any lovers know that who've been following especially twin flame pedagogy, how do we, whatever, like linking the masculine and the feminine is and blending them and finding where they fit together and how they complement one another is a beautiful thing. It's it's yin and yang. It's the puzzle pieces. It's doesn't have to be heteronormative. Doesn't have to be penis and vagina. But when any of us get into a passionate mode, and Mars and Venus and Psyche and Eros are very passionate planets, we can feel that, the push, the pull, the here and there, the come and come after, it's this motion together is kind of what this is signifying for me. And they're even kind of almost sextile, kind of a little bit sextile. And actually, Mars and Psyche there in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio is a very deep, very like Mars is a traditional ruler of Scorpio. Mars as the warrior in Aries is like, right? Like it's obvious we're at war. With Mars in Scorpio, I mean, and it's not only war. I mean, Mars in Aries can also be an independent fighter, ninja type. But Mars in Scorpio is really an effective placement because here the warrior has mastered techniques of patience, of espionage, of learning the other person, how they tick, how do we get under their skin, how do we, with minimum effort, maximum output. So that's what Mars in Scorpio is sort of doing right now, is helping us out with that. Mars coming up on Psyche in Scorpio is really challenging us. I mean, a conjunction's not always roses, right? It's significant. It's like, oh, there's what. So what could this mean? It can mean a lot of things. And one of the things, one of the things is that we're being challenged on our psyche mission. We're being, and we're also being given energy on it. We're being given a strong push. I mean, Mars can challenge our physical bodies. And I don't know if it's this or how Ceres is on the North Node in Leo or what it is. I mean, it might just be the season. Maybe people are sick all the time. We got Jupiter semi-square Saturn, too. I don't know if a lot of people are talking about or have noticed this, because I haven't. But a semi-square is no small thing. And when we have a semi-square between Jupiter and Saturn, any aspect between Jupiter and Saturn is very telling of the energies. And right now, I think that we can all feel this sort of dissonance or this the semi-square energy, which is kind of like it can't quite be resolved, but it's definitely pushing between our desire for expansion and excitement and optimism and going out there and getting the thing, doing the thing. Creating the abundant life for ourselves that we're all planning, right? Like the beautiful, awesome, exciting, gorgeous thing that we're all going to do, where we're going to love ourselves and each other and the planet and make it fantastic. This is slime. I'm going to play with the slime while I talk. That's my way of Jupitering it up right now. Jupiter in Scorpio, slime. And then Saturn in Capricorn is like, but you gotta do the work and you gotta do it every day, and we're gonna do it day by day, and we're gonna do it like that because that's how it's done, and you know it because you learned already that this is how we gotta do it. That's just how it is, and that's respectable. But Jupiter in Scorpio is like, I want it now. I want it full on. I am feeling passionate about this shit right now, right? So there's a semi-square. And that'll resolve. It will change. It will flow out and into something else. We have outlets for Jupiter energy right now. And we have a lot of support for Saturn. I mean, Saturn will be supported the whole time it's in Capricorn, which is beautiful, as many have noted. It's great. This is my Saturn return. My Saturn's at 0 Cap, so happy birthday, or whatever it has been. And Grand Nodal Cross has occurred with the moon in Taurus and the nodes in Leo, Aquarius, and the Jupiter, Mars. So people are feeling it. There's some intense stuff going on. There's no doubt about it. It's different for everyone. The way it plays with your chart is going to be different from the way it plays with another person's chart. The way it plays with your relationships chart is going to be different than the way it plays with another person's relationship chart. Right? Mars trine Neptune, was a little bit foggy there for a little bit. a little bit. Might have been doing some things that we didn't totally align with over the last couple of days, and sort of regretting that, or trying to figure out how to make our actions jive with our deep inner feelings and spirit and knowing. That should really be facilitated when that moon comes into Cancer. We should, there might be some tension and it'll be clear where our real feelings are not lining up with our actions, and where what we feel on the inside could be or should be or would be or might be, or what we long for doesn't line up with what we see in the outer world. How are we going to reconcile that? We're either going to change something inside of us, or we're going to change something in the world. Something in the world is going to change us. Something inside of us is going to change the world. But when it comes down to it, things are, again, it's just a useful tool, but things are as they are, as they seem to be. And that affirmation, again, it helps me blend, and it's a little bit subtle, and it's a little bit simple, and it's a little bit complex too. But if you understand what I'm saying, if you get my drift, about that, the way that even conceptual reality isn't separate from the ultimate truthful reality of physical entities and beings. This is something people struggle with. It's like, I'm practical, I'm not into all this philosophizing, all this spiritual stuff. It's like, well, they can come together. They can come together in art and music. They can come together in literature. They can come together in, there's a functionality in something like a sailboat, but there's poetry in it as well. We don't sail just so that we can sail. We sail to enjoy life and feelings, right? And we feel the wind in our faces, and we listen to music that moves us. It's not just how it looks, it's also how it feels. That matters. And we are creators, we're powerful creator beings, and we are also people who are look around, we're participating in a world that remains as it is until it changes, and we all have to work together to change it. And we have to change it every day with our actions and our thoughts and our feelings, right? In a tangible, concrete way. So yeah, that's one of the big things that this moon is about. It's and this question too of does my subconscious, my emotional mind, the emotional aspects of myself. We have this Jupiter, Mars in Scorpio happening. This is really if we're going to examine the concept of the law of attraction, for instance, using astrology, which we can do, because we can do anything, right? We can do anything, especially with our minds and our words and our art and the way that we influence our own minds and other people's minds. We can do anything, including question things that seem like we already know everything about them, because otherwise, where's the fun in life? Anyway, so Jupiter, Mars in Scorpio, relating to that idea that we are affecting and creating the world with our unconscious mind, or our deep ancestral past is also creating the world. That's another concept, right? All of these things, it's not like we don't exist in a vacuum. It's not like, okay, gonna think this thing's gonna happen. Yeah, maybe if you're really aligned and you've really done a lot of clearing of stuff that's held back your subconscious mind. And this is the trick. And your subconscious mind is also your superconscious mind. Subconscious, 4th house, superconscious, 12th house. The melding and the alchemical realm where the subconscious and the superconscious mix and create interrelatedness with other people's consciousness is Scorpio. So with Mars and Jupiter in Scorpio, how are we co-creating what we're feeling, what we're doing? How are our relationships affecting everything. And when the moon comes around to Cancer, we're going to be accessing on an emotional level how our own inner personal initiating thing is thinging, if you will. Okay, sometimes the words aren't going to come, and that's how it's going to be. Saturn, Vigentile, Pluto. Okay, so what's getting torn down right now and what's being built up are like one Mobius strip, because it's a one door closes, another door opens kind of situation. I've never used that phrase before. But I just did. And the thing is about Vigentile energy is it's a door opening. It's a new passageway into totally new realm of existence, and yet it's somewhere familiar, and you've been there before and you know about this. There's something really magical and beautiful about Vigentile that maybe I'll talk about a little bit more in the future. But Saturn, Vigentile, Pluto. This is like is that what we have? This is what my chart's saying that we have. I'm gonna have to look this up. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Sometimes this version of Solar Fire is giving me faulty information, but luckily I check into it. Most of it is completely accurate, I can guarantee. 99.999%. Chiron biquintile the North Node. We have creative ways now of addressing collective pain. We have sort of there's a little bit of a like bubble. There's a bubble. There's a froth to the potion that we're creating here. We have faced a lot of pain, a lot of darkness, a lot of shadow in the collective in the last few years. No doubt about it, right? And so we have, right now it's subtle. Pluto's quincunx the North Node, so we have a chance to break away from some kind of darkness. We have a chance to adjust our relationship with force and control, and sort of take a breath and change the way that we relate to power. And like my dear teacher and friend Janet was saying today, like it's power of and not the power over. And that's so beautiful. And and that's the lesson of Pluto, and that's the lesson of Scorpio, is that we are letting the power come through us and from us, and we're not trying to force anything or anyone. And that power comes, and it does the most amazing things when we just let things happen, like in a good way. We're not going to let ourselves be exploited or walked over. But what I mean by let things happen is let magic happen. Give the power that's in us and in the universe the open channel of our bodies and ourselves. Say, yes, I'm going to do what I can to feel good, to help others feel good. I am open to letting that flow through, rather than trying to micromanage, rather than trying to force it, rather than trying to say, you do this and you do this and you do this, we're going to get it all done. And then you look around and you notice it's not quite coming to the vision that you had planned. There's a lesson in this for Capricorn too, is like sort of keep applying your diligent effort, but remain flexible. And luckily we still have Mercury and Sag to help us with a little bit of that flexibility. And we have Neptune in Pisces, who's very much helping us to blow our minds right open. This whole Neptune in Pisces transit has been just amazing. Amazing, amazing. Has it not? It's been amazing for everybody, like in terms of just, there's been so much awakening. There's been so much spiritual growth for the collective, for everybody during this entire Neptune and Pisces transit. I mean, over the last, I don't know how many years has it been that Neptune's been in Pisces. I don't have my ephemeris. Where is it? I'm just going to go back a few years. Just boop. Oh, I remember. It was 2011. Right? Since 2012. Baby. Right? Since... So, this beautiful Neptune in Pisces transit. I mean, they say that, some people think that the age of Aquarius started in 2012. Some people think it's going to start because Jupiter is going to align with Mars around January 8th, and the moon's going to be in Libra, which is like the sun's 7th house. So that's, the Fifth Dimension song, or, that hair song about the moon in the 7th house and Jupiter aligning with Mars. Then peace will guide the planets, and love will rule the stars. Yeah, so yeah, baby. Okay, but I'm yeah. So the thing is, so maybe that's Aquarius, but I think we're still in Pisces, and I think that, people are probably right when they're watching, like, the huge precession of the zodiac, and there's no speculation about it, just like there's not speculation. Like, no, the sun's in Cap right now. Unless you look at draconic stuff, and we can look at sidereal stuff. There's so many different ways of looking at things. For some people, maybe the age of Aquarius started in 2012. But I think, and I've heard, that, the most intense manifestations of an age are at its beginning and at its end. And the beginning of the age of Pisces, as many people are familiar with, was right around the time that someone named Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, or Sananda was incarnated. And he went through a very Piscean journey. And he has taken us on such a journey, and the teaching of unconditional love has been one that has been difficult for people to process, and there has been, and I'm not just saying, like, I was reading the New Testament the other night because, some of us get caught up in reading things that it says Jesus said, and then some of the Bible stuff that some of those parables are kind of like, yeah, but aren't you kind of saying those guys should get punished for this? And it's, there's some confusion. It's Neptunian. It's been a confusing time. Some people can blame Christianity for all their problems. Some people can say, Jesus has saved them. And some people are in touch with the direct heart of Jesus. And the direct heart of anything is pure love. And the power of that spiritual being is quite real. And I love him. I love when he comes around. I love the feeling of his playful, loving, beautiful nature that I'm sure that many of you are familiar with. I'll speak more about the age of Pisces and the age of Aquarius at some point, but I think that we can sort of understand that we're coming to a culmination of some of the Pisces themes and teachings. Just make art right now, maybe. How about let's, because art is things as they seem, too. There's that element of things as they seem. I'm just working with that today. I don't know if it's handy for anybody else, but I feel like I've just been talking 33 minutes, holy moly. I'm just like saying words with this confident voice. How's it going? Is it going okay? I think I got some good information through. I feel pretty good about this. So yeah, Venus and Eros and Mars and Psyche. Oof. Enjoy. If you have someone to love right now, if you have a journey to go on with someone right now to find love, if you have the capacity to love someone and imagine an adventure with them in your mind and in your dreams, enjoy that. Just live it up. This is it. This joy and this enjoyment is what it's all about. We want to work through suffering, and we want to feel pain, Do we? Wait, no. The illusion of separation is the only cause of suffering. That's a Pisces lesson that we're learning right now. It's an illusion. It's a big, grand illusion. And when we see that it is, we are not so prone to suffering. Because everything is connected. The past, the present, the future, everything is, it's matter waiting for the correct conditions to come into being and then passing into different, but the energy is always going to be there. So I'm just going to do a moment of silence now and feel that energy of now here and here now, there then, whenever, wherever, however, forever, and right now, and never. I'm just making a poem now. No, but I'm weaving something. There's something being woven. So just to help you connect with interdimensional space-time and your beingness at the core of all things, and all things beingness at the core of you, and all things cores being at the core of everything around you. So, and all of that is infused with awareness of connection rather than illusion of separation. Nothing can be lost. There's nothing to be gained. It just changes. It seems and feels a lot like loss. And I feel for everybody who's experiencing that and who has experienced that. Please know that you can tap into the spirit of anything that's gone before and anything that may be. And it all exists now in your mind, in your perception. It can be accessed, even things that don't exist and never will. And you know that. Everything, and it does because it's in your mind, right? So knowing that it's part of you, there's nothing to fear. You can go into any of it. Anything. There's no boundaries that can't be breached in that state because you're not grasping, you're not asking for anything. And nothing can hurt you. You're pure awareness. Is this still a meditation? I think so. So we are all together now. And I want you to say this with me. Are we all together now? Are we all together now? We are all together now. Thank you for doing this with me. I really, even though I'm recording this in the past and you're going to watch it in the future, there's no such thing. You're here, I'm here. And I felt that beautiful connecting web that we just accessed together. And I'm really grateful to you for that. Because we're all one. We're all something together. I don't know. There were many and we're one with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's lots. And we're all connected. We're together. Forever. That word forever doesn't sit quite right. When I said that in the poem, I was like, no, not forever. It's sort of, there's something about it. But I'm sure I'm pretty sure it's true. Who knows? Anyway, the moon's in Taurus. Right here, right now. I have this squishy slime. I can play a little bit of this music for you, but I'll stop soon. I just trust people to tune out when they want to. Okay, I've done what I can with the chart. I'm sending you so much love. I pick up things from other readers I love. You're going to notice that. I'm going to notice that. There's no, we can compare, we can contrast. There's no need to compete, there's no need to condemn, there's no need to judge. We can draw on one another's inspirational qualities and weave love for all of us, because all of our intention is love for everyone, right? And there's nothing, as Anna Green Gables said, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So, I'm trying to tie that into astrology somehow. No. I'll do a recording with more specifics on the Cancer full moon in a little bit. Perhaps. I don't know. But I thank you so much for sticking with me. This is a very long recording, and it's been such an honor to read for you. I want to say namaste, aloha, because there's someone else I love that says that. And you learn how to do things from other people, right? It's Mercury and Sag. That's the one. There's the astrology. Okay. I love you. Thank you for being here.